if you want to build a 7-figure property portfolio, then this video is for you. My name is Alfred Dzadey and I built a £4.5 million property portfolio, and I'm going to share with you within this video how I was able to do that and the tips as well of how you can go about doing the same. So number one on the list is your ability to be able to find great deals. So what I mean by this is understanding, okay, if I'm going to find an investment property, what do I need to be looking for? Can I find a property where it has opportunity for me to be able to maximize further, i.e. can I convert to multiple units? Like, what is the opportunity within the property, right? Your ability to be able to find a good deal or bad deal determines how good your pipeline can be. If you haven't got that skill set of being able to find a great deal, unfortunately, then that means that you haven't got a pipeline to be able to even find opportunities to then even allocate money to it and to get your journey going, right? So we need to get you upskilled on how do we find great properties. And obviously there's numerous of ways. Obviously you can get educated, you can self-educate, whatever, but the idea is you've got to understand the fundamentals when it comes to property investing, what I look for. So in terms of location, what am I looking for in a location? What am I looking for in a house size? Generally for myself, for example, I look for 3 to 4 bedroom houses because I know those type of properties allow me to be able to convert easily into a 6-bedroom property where I can rent each room out individually, or 7 or 8 unit property. So I know when I go into the marketplace, this is what I'm looking for. In terms of obviously area selection as well, I know what I'm going into in terms of the council. What's the appetite to building properties like this in that area? Are they receptive to it or are they against it? Like, these are like just common things you need to kind of do to get an understanding of how to go about finding your right property for yourself, right? But the message here is to be able to build a 7-figure portfolio, you've got to get good at finding deals so you can start to build a 7-figure plus property portfolio. Second thing on the list is being able to raise capital. This is pivotal if you want to scale. Don't get me wrong, you can obviously build a 7-figure portfolio without having to raise capital from individuals. But if you want to scale rapidly and do it in the time frame, just put the context, I was able to build a £4 million property portfolio just within 3 years. That would not be impossible if I tried to save my way there. It's just not possible. I was a project manager earning, I think towards my end of my career, about 60k a year. Even if I saved 20 grand a year to do the type of deals I'm doing now, where on average you're needing 100k plus minimum to get started, that's at least 5 years to save for one house. Now that would mean I can build it. Obviously I can buy every 5 years, but I don't know about you, but I don't want to buy every 5 years, right? I want to buy 1, 2, 3 in 1 year. So the only way I can do that is by accessing capital, people in my network, people I know, providing value to people that have money, and therefore exchanging, i.e. being able to raise capital from these people. So learning that skill has enabled me to be able to buy a property quickly, and more importantly, be able to recycle the capital to be able to buy more and do it in that time frame. So if you want to be able to scale quickly, you've got to learn the skill of raising capital. And don't get like frightened about raising capital. Can I borrow money from someone? I'm scared if I borrow money from someone else. You're scared because you don't know how to allocate money correctly. You haven't got a process which, if you had the money, you can allocate that process. That process just churns out this product that you want. The reason why I'm so confident in raising money when I go out and raising money is for me, it's a no-brainer. Is because I have a proven process in the system, which I know that if I have money and I put this money in the system, I get income producing assets on the back end. That's why it's okay for me to go out there and raise money. And I wasn't always a person that's this confident, right? But I got confident through getting knowledgeable, being around the right people, understanding the process, and more importantly, understanding the proven process that's proven to work. Therefore, when I raise money and allocate to a property deal, I'm not fearful of this deal not working out, because I know the outcome before I even start the deal. This is what I mean by having confidence through knowledge and knowing and executing the process. And once you do, for me, money race becomes like a walk in the park because there's no fear. The fear disappears. It's like, I'll be an idiot to not raise the money. And also as well, when the outcome becomes very clear and apparent, i.e. if I do this deal, I can get 1.5k a month in profit from this property, 2k a month in profit from this property. I can have $500,000 added to my portfolio value at the back end of this deal. For me, it becomes a no-brainer. Like, I'm going to do whatever it takes to access the capital, provide value to others so that I can go and do these deals. So for me, it's a process. It's a process that can be learned. It's a skill that can be acquired. It's what I did, and that's what's allowed me to build a 7-figure portfolio. The third thing on the list is having a star team. When I say a star team, this is not an average team. I don't want no average build team, solicitors, brokers. So a team obviously consists of a lot of things, right? But like the key factors for me are mainly around your build team and your broker, maybe solicitors as well. But those are kind of the 3 frontline teams you want. There's obviously other people you need to get on board as well. But the point is, these are people that are going to enable you to actually execute on your purchase and do your development and help you with the financing from the banks. So you want to make sure you've got a stellar team that know how to do this. You don't want to find a finance broker who doesn't know how to go about getting bridging loans or development finance, doesn't understand how this whole BRR HMO process works, or just getting finance in general, like just don't understand or even don't have a great relationship with your lender. One big thing for me is when I'm selecting a finance broker, I am more assessing what is the person's relationship with that lender. What is their deal flow to that lender? Are they someone that have influence against the lender, i.e. they provide the lender in about 10 million, 20 million pounds of lending per year? That is a huge pipeline. If that broker wants to kind of bend the rules a bit or get a client in to make things work, and maybe the lender's being difficult, they have influence to be able to do that. If your broker is just one person, just do one-off deals with his lender, you have no respect. The lender just sees you as a fly on the wall, like you're nobody. So this is one little assessment, even just coming to a finance broker, right, of how I select my team. Build teams, again, want to be super certain they've done this several times over. This is like a walk in the park. They can do this in their sleep, because I understand that build part of the phase of the whole process is the riskiest part. If I have a shaky build team or a team that has not done this like before, or not really too familiar with it, haven't got enough experience on it, when the tough times come, they're not capable of coming up with solutions. And that's one thing I'm big on. I need solution oriented people. The only reason why, or the only way you can be solution oriented is, well, one, I guess with your mindset, but two, if you've been there, done that, you just know what to expect. You know how to handle the scenario. You know how to move forward. So these are things that I'm assessing when I'm qualifying a team. So again, another reason why I've been able to get to where I am today is because I've just selected A-star players and taken no less. I'm not compromising. I know what I want. I know I'm coming to the marketplace. If you don't fit in that box, unfortunately, you don't fit in Alfred's team. It's as simple as that. And that's been my playbook. And I hope you guys can take a huge lesson from that one. Fourth thing on the list is getting into the right rooms. The reason why I was able to scale so quickly is because I got around people that were doing this on a daily basis. It became very normalized to go and buy more properties per year. Because if you haven't been in a room where people are doing that, it might sound like a foreign concept, right? Of being able to buy multiple properties in a year. Like there was a point in time where I thought I'd save my way to be able to buy a property year on year. I got to work hard, save a deposit, and go buy a property. Until I got into a room where I got educated, actually, you can raise money today and buy a property today and be much further ahead. Back to the original example where I said 5 years, I could buy one property. In that same 5 years, I built a £4.5 million portfolio. So who would you rather be? The person that buys one every 5 years, or the person that's been able to raise capital and do 4.5 within, like, literally, I was able to achieve that within a 5-year window, right? It's a no-brainer. But the only reason why I got exposed to that is because I got into the right rooms. And this is the big bit about like getting into the right rooms. You got to get in rooms where people are doing the thing that you want to do. It's the only way you're going to get exposure and be able to keep momentum up and know that it's possible. More importantly, the more you surround yourself with people that are doing deals, guess what? On your bad days, you're not doing what you need to do. You can get a bit of motivation from people around you who are raising money, who are doing deals. And it just, again, boosts you of what's possible, right? Because if someone is in the community you're in, your mastermind you're in, and we all have the same information, right? And one is doing well, the other isn't. You've got to be self-critical at that point and say, hey, look, we both have access to the information. Why is it that you're succeeding and I'm not? Something fundamentally with yourself is obviously hindering you from being able to achieve that same success. And you've got to reflect on that, i.e. a feedback loop of what is going wrong, and then assess that and, okay, then correct that to allow you to then have the same level of success by doing the right thing, which you're currently not. And you can only, again, notice that if you're exposed to people doing better than you. And this is why, for me, again, the reason why I got to where I am is I just surrounded myself with killers who are just super ambitious, don't take no for an answer, super resourceful. These are all character traits that I started to rub off on people, right? And start to acquire myself, and start to realize, actually, to play this game, I've got to become this person. The person that's doing millions of pounds a year in property deals have these character traits. If I want to become them, I've got to become like them and adapt their skill sets and their character traits. And that comes through being in better rooms. You can try and do this in a silo, do it by yourself. Unfortunately, you're only as good as yourself, right? So you don't know, there's no reference points, there's nothing. I don't know. I wouldn't want to do this for myself. I would want to be in rooms where people are empowering me to think bigger, do more, and show you more importantly it's possible. Because trust me, it's not easy. And if it was easy, everyone would be doing it, right? So a big factor is get yourselves into good rooms where you can be elevated to do more, and more importantly, hold you accountable to your outcome. The fifth thing for me is running your portfolio as a business owner and not a landlord. I see time and time again people get into property investing and just running this business as landlords. Like, why would you, like, this is an investment business. This is assets that provide you income on a monthly basis. Why do you want to operate like you're in essence running a job, or like having a job? I can't even think in the mindset wise how people operate like that, right? We're leaving our jobs to create business that provides us cash flow. So you want to run a business and not create another job for yourself. I see a lot of people wanting to manage tenants, find that super ridiculous. You're never going to be as great as the agent who has done this for 10 years plus, 15 years plus, knows how to qualify tenants, find best tenants for you, paying tenants, process of non-paying tenants, all of that, systems and processes to collect payment, all that stuff. They just set up and get up for this. Don't get me wrong. Yes, maybe in the future, if you've got a large portfolio and you want to bring that business in-house, i.e. hire someone full-time to manage your whole entire portfolio, then you can. But starting out, you just want to hire someone who's done this before and allow you to focus on scaling, which is finding new opportunities and raising money. That's what allows you to scale. Managing tenants stops you from being able to scale because you're focusing on your tenants, dealing with issues, which, trust me, there will be issues on your properties, maintenance, cleaning, all that stuff that needs to happen. Someone needs to organize all of that. And if you're trying to manage all these things, I just see it as insanity. I see people trying to save money on build costs and wanting to be involved in the build process, sourcing materials, like all these silly little things that are just taking time away for you, which are not real value add. It costs you a bit more to pay the builder to manage all this process for you. But what's more value, right? The person who is getting into the nitty gritty and wanting to manage everything themselves, or finding a team that actually does everything, and you just simply focus on finding new opportunities and raising money. I'm going to literally be farther ahead than you all day long. Like it's a no-brainer at that point. Like we can't even compete. We're not in the same league. I'm way ahead of you in terms of doing deals because I have one focus, which is to find deals and raise money. I might call it two focus, but to raise money and find deals to allocate that money to. That is all I do. The rest, I find experts who are capable and let them do what they're great at doing. And that's how, again, I've been able to scale so quickly. So people are watching me and thinking, how has Alfred done this so quickly? I am running a business. I don't get involved in nitty gritty. Like my agents might want to email me about stuff, approvals and stuff. I give them permission, say, hey, if it's not over this spend, I don't need to know. You can send me that stuff which goes to an email which I don't look at. For me, I want to focus on the key tasks, which I keep banging on, is finding deals and raising money. Everything else, let my team handle. Yeah, they get a paycheck. That's okay. It's part of the numbers, part of doing business. But then I truly have a business. If I decide I want to take time out, I haven't got any phone calls with people nagging me about stuff that I need to be involved in or making decisions on. It's like, just doesn't make sense. I don't have a business. I have a job at that point. And if I'm having to make all decisions myself, I empower my team. One big thing I can tell you, I empower my team to be able to make decisions on my behalf. So I don't have to be involved in every decision or any problem that arises. So again, key lesson there for you to be able to allow you to scale and build a 7-figure plus property portfolio. The last thing on the list, number 6, is long-term thinking. When it comes to investing in property, property's a get rich slow scheme, unfortunately. So if you're in the mindset of I'm going to get some quick money and make a lot of money through property quickly, you're in the wrong vehicle. It's a slow business. When I got into property, I understood that it's a get rich slow scheme. So for me, when it came to even area selection, I will pick or even pay slightly a premium for an area, which I know long-term, the appreciation is there. You've got to play the long-term game. Obviously, I want both capital appreciation and also income. I don't just want to make money for the next year, 2 years. If I'm picking a location, I want to make sure that I've got a location where I can even diversify if things change. If market change happens, I'm not stuck with property that can't be rented out or can't be pivoted to another strategy that allows me to still provide myself with income. So I'm always in the mindset of, can I make money in 5 years' time? Can I make money in 10 years' time? That's the mindset I think when I'm buying property, when I'm creating these properties. That's the horizon I'm thinking of. It's all good. It's easy to make money in the first year. It's easy to make money in year 2. But in 5 years' time, can that property still perform? Are you maintaining the property in a way in which that property can still perform for you? Are you in a location that allows property to still thrive in 5 years' time? These are all key questions I'm asking myself when deciding on location and where I'm buying and what to do when it comes to selection of my property. So long-term thinking is super important. Even when it comes to, do I spend a bit more money on my property on the initial starting point? Again, I'm looking to hold these assets for years to come, right? I'm not cutting corners. I'm going back to brick, new electrics, new plumbing, new everything in the building, right? Some might want to save some money on electrics because I don't want to do full rewire, I don't want to do partial rewire. You're just waiting for carnage to happen. Your maintenance bill is going to eat up that cost of just doing a full rewire in the first place. So 5-year, 10-year of horizon, you definitely would have spent money on maintenance on that property versus if you just bought and put a brand new system in place. So all of these things that I do allow me to have a sustainable portfolio long term. And the mindset around this is you've got to think long term investing when it comes to these property portfolio and building a 7-figure property portfolio. So these are my tips in which can allow you to be able to build a portfolio of similar size and obviously allow you to have to scale more importantly. Hope you got some value from it. Obviously, if you're interested in doing what I do, which is BRR HMOs and raising capital, I've left a link in the description for you to be able to reach out to my team and myself and see how we can be of help. And obviously, if we can, we'd like to show you how we can do. So guys, until next time, take care.